again, my people. Hello and welcome to The Standpoint. You know, The Standpoint will be 10 years in July this year. It's been an amazing journey. So many challenges. We'll talk about it on another platform or during another program. But our theme for this year is the woman on the move. Woman on the move. And as a woman on the move, you need to be healthy. Bottom line. Without health, what can you do? Somewhere in January, a bit of me, I talked about the fact that apart from being alive, staying healthy is the most important thing for any woman. Because when we are sick, everything falls apart. So we need to stay healthy. Today we are going to look at a healthy cervix. You've heard about cervical cancer and so on and so forth. We are going to talk about it. I made a quality decision 2 years ago that every year for my own birthday present, I go for a thorough checkup a week or two after my birthday. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did, and I still do it. Today, I'm sure after this program, you will make that quality decision to take your health seriously. My name is Gifty Auntie. Welcome to The Standpoint once again. And let me say thank you to GTP for my cloth. This dress was made for me by Chic Collection. My makeup product always provided by Paba Cosmetics and applied by Makeup and More. Today, my hair is by Extra 5 and my beads by Eguzi Ghana. Eguzi, if you're fancy, you understand Eguzi. Well, we take a break. When we come back, we talk about why we need to stay healthy. We'll be back. Welcome to The Standpoint. Today we are going to talk about health, and I know when we are talking about health, some people are not interested, but every time we do talk about health on The Standpoint, a lot of people benefit because we all learn a lot, and in the long run, we are better off as women when we take our health seriously. Let me say thank you to our sponsors. Wilma Africa, they produce Frital cooking oil, and these times they also have the Exceller sunflower oil. They distribute or they sell Fortune rice, which comes in 3 types. The green package one, very good for the soft dishes. That's the mutuo and rice water. The green package one, and then the orange package one is good for wachi. The wine package one, excellent for jollof rice and fried rice, and the plain rice that you want to do some things with it. Okay, so get it right. Don't go and buy the green package one and say you are going to do fried rice or jollof rice with it. No, that is not good for it. That one, the green package one, is good for soft dishes. Omutuo rice water. Yeah? The orange package one, good for wachi. And then the wine package one is what you need for jollof rice, fried rice, monangwa rice, and stuff like that. Please, so get it right. We are also supported by African Women's Development Fund, AWDF. They support African women's rights organizations across Africa. This program is aired on ABN TV, which is on Sky Channel 235 across Western Europe, parts of Canada, and Asia. And also our website, www.thestandpoint.com.ga, powered by Dream Oval. You go there and you get almost all our programs there. Our YouTube channel is The Standpoint. Now I come to the studio and I have 3 principal nursing officers with me who are going to educate us on why we need to, in fact, ask me. Okay, they are the women to ask when you want to talk about cervical cancer. And to my extreme left, I have Amanda Edua Mankwa. As I told you, she is a principal nursing officer. Next to her is Rose Edufo, who is a principal nursing officer, and Ivy Asantua Sapon, also principal nursing officer. Welcome, ladies, to The Standpoint.
Thank you.
All of you first time on The Standpoint.
Seriously.
Good to have you here. But I've been following you. You're doing great.
Thank you very much.
The various platforms that you've been on.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
So ask you what? Ivy?
Anything cervical cancer.
Oh. Is it a major problem among the women of Ghana or among Ghanaian women?
Yes, it is. I would say categorically that it is. Now, this is because from our statistics, we are getting a large number, about 5,000 or so, new cases yearly.
New cases yearly.
Wow. And we are having over 60% of them dying. That is scary. So yes, it is a major problem for Ghanaian women, and which is why we are here.
Why
to talk about it?
60% die. Is it because it's not treatable?
The main factor would be that it is not picked up early. Now, the good thing about cervical cancer is this. It is a cancer, yes, but it is preventable. And then again, apart from it being preventable, it is also treatable and manageable depending on when it is picked. So the earlier it is picked, the better.
Amanda, you know, we were talking, I just jumped right into it, but, you know, I'm sure there's somebody, you'll be amazed. No, you shouldn't be surprised because you're a nursing officer. There's somebody watching and wondering what is cervix, what is cervical cancer, what are they talking about?
Okay. We're talking about the cervix. Every woman has a cervix. And the cervix is in our vagina. If I'm allowed to use the word.
Yes, please.
Okay, so if I should...
Feel very free.
If I should take this
for
you to see, this is our vagina. So when you put your finger into it, all the way up, you touch something like the tip of your nose. It's firm, and there's a little hole in. So that is the cervix. With a better view, we can see it through here. So this is how it looks like with the uterus.
Okay.
And the uterus is the, we say where the baby lies. So it's as small as this if it is not pregnant.
Call it the womb.
The womb, okay. So when it is not pregnant, this is the size.
Okay,
So
small.
yes, very small. And then when the baby gets into it, it blows like a balloon all the way to the rib towards your breast. And then after the baby comes out, it goes to the navel, and then within 6 weeks, it folds back to behind the bony part of the pelvic where the hair is. So when you put your finger in, this is how it looks like, and you can touch it. So this is the part we are talking about.
Okay.
Okay. So because of
so it is connected, somehow connected to the
it is the opening
uterus.
into the uterus.
It's the opening into
the uterus.
Okay.
Okay, that protrudes into the vagina. Okay, so when you talk about cancer are cells that form.
Okay. You know, before we get to it, you know, is that, I mean, I just wonder how many women have really even put their hands in there to touch it. Okay. You know, I mean, let me move on to Rose. What can go wrong with it, with the cervix?
A lot of things could go wrong if a number of things are ignored, such as taking adequate care of the area. Some is our own making. That's it's for us to regularly ensure we do or do not do some things. Naturally, for every part of our body, we have some organisms that, let me come a bit to our terms, we call them normal commensals. Those organisms are not harmful for as long as they are staying in where they are. Some are in the eye, the nose, every part of the body has it. But immediately you misplace its position, then you would have the adverse effects of it. And so for as long as we have some of these organisms that protect the vaginal area and we leave them to be there, it preserves the place for us. And for that matter, I wouldn't even have travel up to have infections that would affect the cervix. But there are some women who, unfortunately, in the name of keeping the place tidy, ends up almost every day washing the place, chukru chukru. I don't know what actually they want to what actually they want to get out of the place. So rather you wash those protective materials and you invite infections that can rather affect and cause other forms of infection. And so any other infection there can travel up to affect the cervix. Quite apart from that, then the main cervical cancer cells we are talking about. This one is an infection that is virus, and it is sexually transmitted. And so for as long as a woman comes into contact with an individual who is sexually, who is exposed to the virus, then definitely you also contract the virus, and then you are likely to have it and not immediately show any signs anyway. It could take a couple of years before you begin to exhibit any signs, whether the other signs we'll mention later in the journey.
Ivy, I'll come back to you, back to Amanda. Sexually transmitted, the virus into the cervix. So is it that the viruses are with the men, or?
That question has been asked many times, and it's really funny. I always say it's like, which came first, the egg or the chicken? Because probably if the lady has never had sex, it's the man who is going to give it to her. But the question is, who gave it to the man? Right. He picked it up from a woman, somebody who was infected by another man. And it goes around like that. Okay,
so it's not like something that is naturally on the men and then they transmit it. They'll have to pick it up from a woman.
Yes, but then it tastes on the male genital
So this one,
organ.
I can't blame the men, eh?
You can't.
I was waiting to blame the men. Just kidding. Right?
And then the funny part is that the men in this room, we cannot say that he has it or the other, Kwame has it or Kwesi has it, because it's not written on their faces. Till the woman starts to manifest. And it takes between 10 to 20 years after the virus, which is the HPV virus, not HIV, but HPV papilloma virus.
I still remember.
Okay. The human papilloma virus. Till the woman picks it up. It stays at the cervix between 10 to 20 years before we would see a lesion. And for us to see that lesion, that is when we have to use our speculum. And people say that we take out the uterus, the womb, we wash it, and we put it back in.
Haba.
But that is not what we do. The speculum we're talking about is this, and it comes in various sizes. Depending on your size, we have small, medium, and then we have the large one. So we use this, we put it into the vagina, and then we open it up for us to see the cervix I just showed to you. And that is when we can tell, depending on the screening we are doing, we can tell some immediately, but some would have to go through the lab for us to see that there is something there.
You see some immediately? How?
Yeah. Okay, depending, like I'm saying, depending on the screening done.
Okay.
Okay, we have what we call the visual inspection with acetic acid, which is VIA. And that is by washing the cervix with 3 to 5% of the vinegar we eat. Please don't do it, because when you do it, you wouldn't even see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we wash it, we wait for a minute, and then when the lesions show, we have an atlas here, if you don't mind.
But
show it to
please.
you. Yeah. Okay. So, this is what we are talking. Okay. So this is what we are talking about. The very far end is a normal cervix, somebody who's never delivered before, or the person is delivered before but had a cesarean section. Okay. You can see it's written negative, positive, and cancer. So all the things here we can give treatment to. We don't worry about. But then when we wash with the VIE, we wash with the vinegar, and then we start seeing whitish lesions like this, then we have a cause to worry. And this would tell us that it's been there for more than 10 to 20 years. It may come as small, and then as it progresses, it becomes bigger. So this is the part we want to catch, or even not even catch, so that we can treat it before it gets down there where it is cancerous. So this one has been washed with vinegar. So depending on that, we can see this immediately. And this with the VIA is see and treat. Yeah. But then when we use we have other types like the conventional, where we use it comes like this, but then it has a spatula and then a brush in it. And then it has a plate. So this is the spatula.
Hopefully, these are things that when you go to the pharmacy, it will not be sold to you.
No.
Good.
So this is the spatula.
You just want to demonstrate that when you come to the hospital, this is what will be done.
Yes.
Because people can scare you from going for,
So the spatula has two ends. One is a sharper part, and then the other one is kind of blunt. And then we have this brush, we call it the endo cervix, or the endo brush. So if we take a woman and we're going to use our spatula, we go in after opening with our speculum, we go into the cervix with the longer part in, and then with a firm push, we just rotate about 3 times. And this helps us to get some of the cells, and then we put it on our plate. Right. There is a plate that is in, and then there's a fixative, which we put on. And then this goes into the cervix, and then we rotate it to get some on the brush and also put it on the plate. This is sent to the lab for them to tell us what we are looking for. We have another type where we call the liquid-based. There is liquid in it, and then we have a brush. So just like you saying, this spatula, we put, the brush has kind of a V end. We put it in, and then we rotate for 5 times. And then we wash it in the liquid, and it's sent to the lab for results to come. So the two, we wait for the results, which may take 10 days. But then with the VIA, we can do it. We can see it immediately.
Let me take a break. When we come back, Ivy made a comment that the important aspect of what is amazing about cervical cancer is that it's preventable. But if you're a woman, you're having sex, you are married, or you have a boyfriend, how do you prevent? Is it even possible? While you're watching The Standpoint, I guess say thank you to our supporters. Yogurt to yogurt. As a woman, I always tell you, yogurt is very good for you. And if you're going to go for yogurt, go for Yogurt yogurt. We also say thank you to Royal Apple juice and Royal Orange juice produced by Casa Preco Company Limited. Our Wick mineral water, Wick purified mineral water, is also by Casa Preco Company Limited. House of Food to make sure that we get something to eat. Thank you to Matamis, they give us the port. Our environment is always cleaned and ensured that we don't pick up any bacterial virus or something in the air by YEP Cleaning Services. We take a break. When we come back, we will continue with this discussion. Welcome back to The Standpoint. If you just joined us, we are talking about a healthy cervix. That is how to prevent cervical cancer. And indeed, if you pick up whatever infection, how you can get it treated on time to prevent preventable death from cervical cancer. Again, I say thank you to GTP who gave me the cloth. This dress was made for me by Chic Collection, and then hair by Extra 5 Hair, makeup products by Papa Cosmetics, and applied by Makeup and More. Well, back to the panel. How do we prevent getting the cervix, first of all, infected before it even gets cancerous?
Great.
Ivy.
Okay, yes, thank you. So, by way of preventing the cervix from getting infected, we mentioned earlier that it is sexually transmitted. Mm-hmm. So straight away, preventing sex would then prevent the cervix from being infected. Okay. But then the truth of the matter is we cannot live without sex.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Thank you.
And
you see why I love you. Okay.
And so we advocate that we have sex at an age where the cervix is matured enough to take anything that hits it. That is the first bit. Okay. And then again, before we have this, we start getting sexually exposed, we advocate that there is a vaccine for cervical cancer, which is HPV, the human papillomavirus.
Yeah.
We advocate that young girls, young boys from age 9 would get the vaccination so that it would...
oh, boys too can take the vaccination.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that. I wanted that reaction.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do know that.
Thank you. So yes, boys too can take the vaccination from age 9. So for boys and girls. Yeah, so what we're advocating is
okay,
that...
hold on.
Okay.
How many parents will decide that my 9-year-old daughter or son, I'm going to take him or her for vaccination against, HPV?
Okay, so I do not have a number because you asked how many.
Yeah.
So in fact, I can't answer your question. But I know that with good education and understanding, most parents are coming. In fact, back at our center, we are having last year, it's our best so far because it looks like it's picking up.
Yeah.
We had about 10 or so young boys and girls coming in from age, we have 9 to 14 of them coming for the vaccine.
It's preventable if you take the shot, and how long will that keep you away from, getting infected with the injection?
For now, if you're using the Cervix, they say it is, according to statistics, it is for life.
Okay.
And then the Gardasil, which is another type, that one you take periodically, like a period of about 6 to 10 years after your completed initial shot, and then you take a booster, so you would forever be protected. Whilst you do the periodic screening if you're sexually exposed.
So taking the vaccination does not mean you should not do the periodic screening because you'll still be having sex anyway. And periodic screening, what time frame are we looking at?
The VIA is 3 years.
The VIA is 3 years.
3 years, every 3
Okay,
years. And
every
then
3
the
years.
conventional ones or the liquid-based is every 2 years.
Every 2 years, okay. At what age?
So far as you're sexually active.
So can cervical infection cause infertility?
It depends on which infection we are talking about. Yes, because
there's so many things that can affect
that can affect the cervix. So
Okay.
it depends on, I can't categorically say that yes or no, because the wide range of infections that can affect.
But the human papilloma
cervix.
virus, can it lead to infertility?
No, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
at all.
But
what it would do to the cervix is to turn the cells cancerous, and so cervical.
Okay. I know we are all itching to get into the cancerous. I want us to end with the cancerous
That's fine.
aspect of it. But
fine.
if you do the test and you realize that there's an infection or there's a condition in there, what kind of treatment do you take apart from the injection, the vaccination? Because I remember years ago I did it. That made me go for mine test for the first time. For the first time. They talk about sometimes using some acid or something. It's not.
So that's a vinegar. That's acetic acid.
Yeah. No, but this one they use something. It's like whitish kind of thing. Is it? And they put it there, and you're not supposed to have sex for a period of time.
Okay. So you're talking about the cryotherapy. So
Okay.
that is if we come back to our atlas, that's a cryotherapy.
Okay.
It's kind of, we use carbon dioxide or nitrous oxide to freeze where the lesion
the freezing word that was beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we freeze it like it, so it's going to look like this.
Okay.
And then after an hour, it starts to defrost. So as it's defrosting, it's washing away the lesion, and then you're not supposed to have sex for 3 months. Okay. The man can use a condom because we don't want any more skin to skin.
Right.
Okay. Then after that, you would come back for us to do another VI. Sometimes we would have it nicely, everything is gone, but then it could move from where we saw it to another place.
Yeah.
So you see that they give you a special card, and then whatever they saw is drawn on it, and then the lesion is positioned on. So when you come, we wash it again, and then maybe we found the lesion using the face of the clock at 9 o'clock. Okay, but when we watch the second time after the treatment, we can find maybe a little one around 3. Then we need to pay particular attention to you. We may decide to take a punch biopsy, take it to see how far it's gone, or we could do a colposcopy for you. And a colposcopy is just magnification for us to see what you're looking for. And then if we identify the lesion, we take a punch biopsy from there. And a punch biopsy is like taking a bite, and then sending to the lab.
Because I remember that one, because I think on that program I did, somebody talked about the fact that she was asked not to have sex for 3 months. The husband wouldn't let her be, so forced her to have sex with her. Another one was talking about the fact that the husband says then they should have anal sex and all that. I mean, so it was basically about the challenges that women who are diagnosed with cervical cancer go through, and I'm sure you've heard some of the stories, but that will be another topic for another day. Let me take a break. When we come back, we'll look at if you don't do all these things and it gets to the cancerous stage, what happens. You know, I want us to end this program by scaring women into action. Scaring women into action. You see, when we get scared, then we sit up. All right, you're watching The Stand. I'm a very nice person. I'm not bad. You're watching The Standpoint. The Standpoint is sponsored by Walmart Africa. Walmart Africa, they produce Fortune rice. Fortune rice comes in 3 types. The green package one, good for soft dishes. That is omutuo, rice water, and the likes. The orange package one, if you want to prepare wachi, that is the one you need. And then the wine package one is for jollof rice, fried rice, and all the yellow, green, no, it's not, how do you call it, curry rice and all those things. That's what you need it for. African Women's Development Fund, AWDF, they also support us, and we are so grateful to them. We take a break. When we come back, we'll continue the discussion. Okay, welcome back. A healthy cervix. Yes, why you need to take care of your cervix to stay healthy and be a woman on the move. Now, let me go to the audience. I think somewhere a beautiful lady has a question.
If I've never taken the test or the vaccine and I'm sexually active, when I go to the health facility, I might go with my husband for him also to take the vaccine.
Okay. For now, with the woman, you have to definitely go through the screening process before you can take the vaccine, because you're already sexually exposed. We don't want to risk your life. So we do the screening, and for the outcome, we vaccinate you. And the man, so the same way, automatically my results is replicated for my partner, supposedly. Okay. That if it's just the 2 of you, the man can also take it per the outcome of your report. But so far, regarding field of work, there has not been much of the male partners coming in for the vaccine. So far, it's been majority has been the women. Yeah.
The truth of the matter is that cervical cancer can be it's scary. It is. When it gets to the cancerous stage, it's not a pleasant. At all. What are the consequences when, apart from the death? Because I hear it's not an instant death. You will suffer.
Okay. So, number 1, depending on the stages, they've spoken about the stages. Yeah. So you go through the stages, and then we find out that you have the cancer.
Right.
Just the treatment. You could go through chemotherapy, or you could go through radiotherapy. And that's giving you strong medication to destroy the cells, or giving you radiation to destroy the cells. It's expensive. Very, very, very expensive. Apart from that, as it is eating you, I always come back to my atlas.
Yes.
The very last bit is the one that half of the cervix is eaten up by cancer. And then the last bit is the whole thing is gone, and it's even coming to the vagina. The woman goes through a lot of pain. There's a lot of discharge, And
Bleeding,
when we talk
I get
about
it's bleeding.
when we talk about discharge, it is not just the discharge we see, like we have candida.
Yeah.
If a woman has cancer, cervical cancer, and she sits here, we can't sit here. It's very offensive, more than rotten egg. And then also, when you have, sometimes if it's not reached that stage, but then you have sex with your husband, you may see traces of blood. They may bleed. At the very end of it, it's like the tree person will say, "Efufu," like rotten meat that comes. And if you don't know and you put a speculum in there, it pours like a tap that is opened. Okay. They have swollen feet. Their abdomens are distended. They look, not yours is very nice. They look very pale and very weak. And as it's eating up, it's taking up the uterus, it's taking up the fallopian tubes. It may even break the uterus and go into the bladder, go into the lower bowels, and then keep coming. So it's kind of eating you up. And it is not a pleasant thing to see. You don't want to see somebody like that. They look very frail and very ill. That is why we are here today talking. We don't want to see anybody like that. The woman doesn't deserve that.
Right. Have you had a patient who's died from cervical cancer?
Yes. Yes. Many of them.
Many of them.
Many
And
of
how
them.
does it make you feel?
Helpless. It is frustrating knowing that this is a mother, this is a sister, this is someone's aunt, this is someone's beloved somebody, and the person is just dying.
And you
Out
can't do
of-
anything about it.
By the time you probably see her, and it's at that stage where there's nothing you can do to get her back.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. Can't find any other word in my dictionary, but it is not nice.
It's not nice. It's not nice, you know. And one of the things that I found out too is that sometimes women are afraid to go for such test, because then when she goes, or if she goes and then something, but then hey, the blame is put on you, the woman. Where did you pick it up from? Because it can't manifest on the man, then it couldn't have been from the man. I mean, that's the perception. Then you got it from somewhere. But if you got it from somewhere, from where? Even if it means you are promiscuous, then it is a man who gave it to you. So how come it can't be the man that you are with who gave it to you? So sometimes women keep quiet and hide it and die slowly. What can we do about this?
Yeah, so thank you, my dear. You know, currently, in fact, as we sit on here, we have quite a number of such women on our wards. And to add to the story, we can only say we are just patiently doing our best as doctors and nurses until God takes them home. But these people, they can't be discharged. They are just on the wards, about 5 of them. And then when you even come to...
They're waiting to die.
Yes. It could be more. When you come to Kolebu currently, over 60% or almost 60% of the gynecological cancers that are reported there are cervical cancer related.
Whoa.
And because it is not immediately you come in contact with an infected person that you contract the infection, sometimes it will be very difficult to apportion blame that it is coming from Kwejo or it is coming from Amma. For as long as there are other risk factors, we don't just we don't like isolate a factor to say this could be it. We want to consider all those possible factors to be sure. And then again, that is why we are now saying that it is a collective responsibility. The fact that it is the woman suffering it now doesn't mean it is feminine affairs.
Yeah.
It cuts across, because I can't have sex alone.
Yeah.
In our cultural context, it is Rose and a man. And definitely it could be that even before I met that man might have met Amma. Amma might have met. So that sometimes you could be whatever, let me say faithful, whichever way it is.
Yeah.
But you could have a partner who had other sexual multiple partners. Automatically, you become a recipient of a sexual multiple partner. You get it. So all this chasing it down, there shouldn't be anything like apportioning blame. We are all responsible, and we must really fight to ensure that even if we can't eradicate it in the nearest future, we could reduce the burden. It is getting too alarming, because all the figures we are talking about in Kolibu, these are those who have reported. How about the woman who couldn't make it? Because for Christ's sake, one of the things that challenged us recently to decide that, no, I think it is high time we go out there. We should let people know how it feels to see a client in the morning, you report to work, and you can't help the client. Some of them, it is 150 pap smear. And the woman tells you, I have a video I recorded. I just felt I had to do it. I met her at the entrance. She's coming to do pap smear. I told her 150. And she was like, me Yamaba. And the me Yamaba is like, I'll be back later. Okay. I'll be back later doesn't sound hopeful.
No.
This woman, give her the rest of the year. I don't think she could mobilize, because per her appearance, you could tell how much she could have on her. She was like, oh, even somebody had to help her to come
get
to
there.
The hospital in the first place. And we are talking about 150. We are talking about maybe other modalities involved in the treatment, the cost and everything. So, in fact, apportioning blame should be out. It is a collective responsibility.
Amanda, in conclusion.
In conclusion, I would like to say that our doors are opened. Every woman should come in for the screening. There are some risk factors that could also contribute to that, especially those whose maybe mothers or aunties or grandmothers have had this thing before. They stand a high risk of getting it. And then those who have multiple sexual partners, those who use what we call the homosexual, putting stings, pushing all the things into their vaginas. Everybody should come. It's preventable. We have vaccines, and our place is walk in.
Yeah.
You have to just walk in, and you see Ivy's big smile. You see more of that. And the good thing is that after it's done and the results are ready, we call you.
Okay.
We call you to come for your results. If there is anything abnormal, we have our doctors there to see to you.
Yeah.
So we are begging you, ladies, mothers, sisters, girlfriends, please come.
Please come. Please come. Then madam with a big smile. Apart from the smiling, when I come, and I find out that, God forbid, I have it. Will I get some counseling before I go home?
Yes, of course. Of course. In fact, even before we take the test, we take you through, with the service provider, we take you through most of what we've talked about here, so that you have a fair idea of what you are getting into and what could be done depending on which results come in. So you get that before the test. And then when you are called to pick up your results as well, whoever it is that you meet at our center would also talk to you about your results and then what you could do moving forward. So yes, counseling is essential.
So it's a one-stop kind of center that you have at Kolibu. You come there, you get everything.
Yes,
you meet nice people, they educate you, they take you through the test, they counsel you as well. So what else can we ask for, but to quickly run and then get it. Thank you very much, Amanda. Thank you, Rose. And thank you, Ivy. Maybe as part of, are you going to give me some tea?
Oh.
Yay!
We'd like you to have this and then wear our t-shirt and advocate for us.
I will, definitely.
And in fact, you have no idea what we have singularly. We said we want you to be the patron for the cervical cancer
They
awareness.
let us work on.
And no same thing that they are catching. Just to let it be a picture. So that wherever you find yourself, your kid, cervical cancer is preventable. Anybody who asks you cervical cancer
Is preventable.
Yes. Ask me.
Ask me, you.
Ask me.
Ask me. And I'll tell you.
So we are asking.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
I'm telling you, I'll wear this with pride.
It's a beautiful inscription at the back. I wish we'd pick it. I was going to change mine, but since you have it.
Okay. Cervical cancer can be prevented. We are
doing something about it.
We are doing something about it. Great. We are doing something about it.
Yes.
What about you? Are you doing something about it? Well, we take a break. When we come back, I'll give you a bit of me. You see, to be an empowered woman is not about having a good job, being in power or position of authority. It's about owning who you are, knowing your worth and what you stand for, making decisions for yourself as well. For too long, women have had to live on, what my husband says, what my boyfriend says. Listen, woman, it's good your husband has money. It's good your boyfriend, your father has money or whatever. But it is also important that you also have some money. You save some money to take care of yourself. So that if you want to go for a health check, you don't need to wait for your husband to travel and come before you go, because we've heard it over and over again, and sometimes it's too late. Even sometimes people are in labor. They want to, it's due time for them to deliver, and they have to wait for their husbands to come because it's their husband who has to pay the money. Listen up, 2018, as women on the move, and I hope you are one of them, we need to take our health seriously. It's about time. Please walk into any health center and get it checked. It's good we do the advocacy, the talking and everything. But before we say anything, let's make sure that we ourselves are standing right. Safe sex. Preach abstinence to your children. Talk to them about sex. And you yourself, no matter what stage you are now, take your sexual life and your sexual health seriously. Bottom line, yes, you can ask me. And if you see anybody wearing this t-shirt, ask them about cervical cancer. And let's save lives. Cervical cancer is preventable. It is also treatable, but it is deadly. And according to statistics, it's killing about 60% of the women who are diagnosed with cervical cancer. Not good enough. Today, I'm not a happy woman, but I still remain Ohinere Gifty Auntie. I have super crazy faith in God that He is able, but I know that God gave us wisdom. Let's apply it. Thanks for watching. See you same time next week. Bye for now.